My child, right now, in this very quiet moment, is your heart searching for something solid to hold on to, sifting through the silent battles you fight behind closed doors, and the questions that rise with the sun each new day. There is no need to push hope away for another hour, or to ignore that gentle voice calling you deeper into peace. This moment is not an accident. It is set apart just for you. I'm opening a window of clarity right now, so you can sense my nearness in a way you haven't felt in a long time. Lay down the worry that tells you this message is for someone else, or that your season of waiting has been a waste of time. Your journey has not gone unseen. Every quiet decision you made to trust me, every whispered prayer in the calm of the early morning has summoned this encounter between us. Place your hand over your heart, inhale slowly for 3 counts and exhale. Doth that now feel their rhythm beneath your palm? If you would just set aside every competing thought and simply breathe, you would notice it. The shift happening within around you as a settle beside you now. You have wondered why the road has felt so resistant, why every step seemed met with invisible force, as if the air itself was pressing against your hopes. I know the subtle battles that fight for your attention. I know the moments where opportunities seemed to fade ease quickly as they arrived, and the long stretches where it felt like you were walking entirely alone, with only the echo of your desire for change. Know this, my beloved, none of your steps have been wasted. I have been with you through every delay, gathering your courage and appointing this precise instant as your turning point. Can you sense my presence flooding your inner world, loosening the heavy burden from your chest, warming you from the inside out? Let that awareness settle soft and real, even if the world outside has not yet aligned. My spirit is close. Within a whisper in your quietest room, say, I receive your presence. Even if your voice shakes, let the words land. Little one, this is not about tomorrow's promise or hope reserved for a distant future. I am moving now. Hear me plainly. The season of striving alone is ending, dissolving like the night mist before the certainty of the dawn. You do not have to summon strength from your own barren ground, because I am pouring strength into your heart even as you pause to listen. When you choose to receive this, open-handed, vulnerable, and honest, the pace of your journey is no longer chained to uncertainty. Let your trust stand. Like a lighthouse, the world beyond what you can see is already responding to the words you release in faith. You may not see the edges of the breakthrough yet, but there, you do not see is alive with movement, aligning to my purpose for you. If doubts knock at your door, if you catch your mind rehearsing every reason to withhold hope, asking, what if I'm not ready? Or, what if nothing changes? Simply notice that thought and let it pass like a cloud. I have chosen this time for you, not because you are flawlessly prepared, but because you have followed the whisper of truth even when the way was dark. There is tremendous strength in your honest surrender. My direction for you does not depend on you having every answer figured out. I only ask you to hold to the certainty that I am faithful, and to declare it boldly even when the evidence feels thin. Repeat after, I trust and I receive. Say it once now, then again with more conviction. Your voice lifted in trust unlocks doors in places you cannot yet reach. With each step, obstacles lose their hold, and what once stood impossibly distant grows close enough to touch. Bring to mind the times you have seen situations turn a heartbeat, unexpected kindnesses, sudden invitations, doors shut creaking open without warning. That was my hand at work, guiding your story toward chapters so you never imagined would be yours. You have persevered through hardship and carried on even when everything in you wanted to give up. Do not let hesitation take root now. Speak with the same boldness you have shown in these script places. When you declare the truth of my nearness and faithfulness, the world that once pressed against you begins to yield and shadows lose their claim. My presence advances for you, and the journey ahead becomes smoother than you dared to hope. My cherished one, you are not walking this road alone. Feel my presence fill the room, the hush that settles over you like gentler rain. In this sacred season, the grip of anxiety and striving begins to relax. I have not tasked you to earn my nearness, but to rest in it, to allow me to move on your behalf with unhindered freedom. Your history of waiting has not dimmed the weight of my promise. The answers you have waited for do not depend in years past, but on my unchanging resolve to do you good. When I move, nothing in all creation can hinder me, not the word spoken against you, not a closed door, not a missed opportunity. Even now, as you quiet your thoughts and draw a deeper breath, my power is moving in and around you. Can you sense it, my child? A subtle tranquility like peace resting on your skin. A knowing that surpasses words, settling deep within where your striving cannot reach. That is my spirit speaking beyond thee. Our reasoning assuring youth that I am already moving. Sometimes assurance feels like a weight lifted in a single silent moment, or a sudden clarity arriving at sunrise. Let yourself trust this comfort. As you pause, as my presence fills the pauses and the empty spaces inside you, know that this is my invitation to take the next step with me. Simple, uncluttered, and faith-filled. You are not being asked to perform, only to receive with an open heart and strong words of trust. As you make room for this truth, see how your spirit steadies, how anxiety begins to dissolve under my gaze. Let your heart rehearse what I am speaking to you, saying it again if you need to feel its solidity press deeper into your soul. My voice releases new strength when you echo it back with conviction, not for show, but for the transformation that faith births. Step in tandem with me. Walk forward where I lead, for my promise is alive and already unfolding, made visible in the ways your world is beginning to change. Reflect and record. Take 1 minute now, or when this ends, to write down one small thing you're thankful for today, and keep it where you'll see it. This is not imagination or wishful thinking. It is my purpose at work as you trust and say yes. With all that you are, stay attuned, beloved, for this encounter marks a new rhythm beating beneath your days. I will continue speaking, for your spirit is opening like the morning, and my word will not leave you unchanged. Let me draw you deeper right where you are. Let the noises settle for a moment. Feel the stillness in the room, the steadiness breath you take. My presence is close, never just an idea for another day. I know the questions you carry that sometimes rustle quietly beneath your words. Is this really for me? Can I step into this newness without fear shadowing the threshold? As my voice comes not with condemnation, but with the warmth that steadies trembling hands. You need not wait until you feel worthy or flawless. I come to you as you are at this very hour, and my love brings renewal with each dawn. My gaze is gently unyielding in its resolve for your good, is behind closed doors, and my heart aches with yours through every long night. You wonder if surrender will be met by disappointment, if letting go means a loss of identity or safety. Quiet those doubts, precious child. Surrender does not erase who you are. It reveals who you have always been in my eyes. Lift your face toward me, and you will sense again the soft reassurance that you are never forsaken. The burdens you bring are not too heavy for me, nor are your seasons of waiting wasted. In these early moments, as light seeps slowly through the window, notice the subtle shifts within you, gratitude flickering even when circumstances pressing, a trust that perhaps things can change, that brokenness is not the end. Let your heart open just a little more and breathe out the anxieties that clog your chest. Release the tight hold you have on outcomes and plans. I am here with hands open wide, not to seize away your dreams, but to shape and strengthen them so they stand firm through any storm. Let today become an altar, a small offering of who you are right there. Place your hand gently over your heart for a moment, sense their rhythm. Let your mind return to my faithfulness in days past, not just the spectacular interventions, but the simple, quiet ways I have sustained you. Remember how peace has broken through panic, how comfort followed loss, even in rooms where you once felt alone. My nearness lingered, guiding you step by step when the road was unclear. My goodness does not expire with the passing of a night. If your spirit feels weary, allow my breath to fill you anew. Do not measure your worth by yesterday's stumbles or today's uncertainties. I delight in calling you mine, not because of flawless achievements, but because I see your longing to walk with me. Each day is an invitation, and even when you falter, my mercy rises with the sun. Commitment isn't performance, it is a posture of trust, a willingness to let my hands shape your story. When you question if I are enough for what awaits, realize your sufficiency springs from my own strength poured into your weakness. You were never called. O Bertha Wade Alon, what weighs on your mind right now? Is it the need to keep everything in order? The pressing worries for those you love, the silent fear that you're being left behind? Bring each concern to him, note in rehearsed prayers, but in quiet honesty. My heart is moved by your vulnerability, by the rages you try to hide. I gather every sigh and every silent groan. Even when you feel you lack the words, I interpret your heart's deepest desires. Note escapes my notice, no hope is dismissed as too small. Let me remind you that my timing is not measured by your deadlines, even in seeming delays. I am working in the hidden places, teaching patience, deepening compassion, drawing out strength you did not know you had. Let waiting become an act of faith, not of resignation. In stillness, plant seeds of gratitude, not for every circumstance, but for my hand that sustains you through each one. Watch how gratitude transforms heavy hours into offerings of trust. Your faith, even if trembling, pleases memory than relentless striving. See how the morning moves forward regardless of yesterday's storms. My plans, for you are not hindered by obstacles or missteps. I rejoice when you let me shoulder your burdens, when you offer anxieties instead of pretending to have all the answers. There is power in releasing control, in trusting that my perspective far exceeds your own. As you surrender, you grow lighter, able to notice the small mercies that abound like sunlight warming your face or laughter shared in an unexpected moment. I am present in every detail. If doubts rise again and you wonder if you can truly trust, remember how I have led you through unseen dangers. Protection is not always spectacular. Often it is found in the doors that quietly closed, the friendships that didn't settle, the gentle discontent that kept you searching for more. Every step, even when it felt uncertain, has been part of my careful guidance. I am not distant or passive. I am involved in the shaping of your days, turning even setbacks into ground for future growth. Do not despise the small beginnings when fears about your family, your future, or your capacity cloud your mind. Pause and let my voices settle your racing thoughts. Your destiny is not scripted by chance. It is crafted by my hand, full of purpose and potential unique to you. You are not a copy or an afterthought. My calling for your life is not based on comparison, but on the design formed within you even before you took your first breath. Rest assured, there is room in my plan. And for all your questions, for every unspoken longing you carry, let a day become a living conversation between us. As you walk through ordinary routines, become aware of my presence is surrounding you. Gentler than any breeze, stronger than the doubts that rise. When you need courage, reach out. When you need wisdom, quiet yourself and listen. I long to fill your day with reminders of my goodness and favor, not as fleeting results, but as a steady strength guiding your choices and anchoring your heart through every uncertainty. Do not rush past this busy ourself with distractions or allowing the day's pressures to steal your peace. Draw near to me in stillness as you are, and you will notice how my presence shifts your perspective. The burdens that once threatened to overwhelm you become smaller as you remember you are not alone in carrying them. My companionship is unshakable, present in your laughter and your tears, your questions and your praise. Where you are discouraged, I bring hope. Where you are anxious, I offer calm. We're building trust together. There is no moment or hidden place where you are on my attentive watchfulness. Is all you when worry pressed on your heart in the quiet hours. when you wondered if anyone truly heard the prayers you whispered beneath your breath. I draw close to the soul that trembles, to the one afraid of taking another step forward. Even now my presence gathers around you like the gentle warmth of sunlight after a restless night. You do not need to prove yourself worthy for me to delight in your company, or to steady you with my hand. I want you to sense, even in the smallest acts, as I release the hush of morning, the taste of fire first drink of the day, that I am pouring newness over your life. You ask, how long must I wait before certainty comes, before the questions fade and belonging settles? There is mystery in my timing, and a wisdom that surpasses frustration. If you listen for me in the everyday, you will discover I am not hiding truth from you. My guidance is like the steady bloom of dawn. Subtle, persistent, inevitable, I am working within you to awaken courage, patience, and a gratitude that lifts your chin when you would rather withdraw. Lean into this. You are not stuck. What feels like a barrier is often the hush before a move you forward in a way far kinder than what you imagined. Every breath you take inside surrender is a door opening quietly to something more whole. Beloved, your life is not random or overlooked. The details that keep you up at night, the ones you fear are too trivial or messy for me, are gathered carefully within my loving care. Feel that right where you are, settle your body, unclench the tension in your jaw, and allow your shoulders to drop as if I am putting my hand on you in these small moments when you notice your heartbeat and remember to simply breathe. I remind you that you are safely held. You are not lost in the crowd, nor is your pain invisible to me. I am the one who joins you at the crossroads and stands guard when night falls. Do you sense my invitation to trust not in the outcomes, but in my unchanging nature? It is tempting to try and predict what will come next, to cling to a sense of control. I gently call you out of frantic striving, asking you to rest, not only with your body, but with your hope. Surrender is not resignation. It is the confident handover of burdens, the willingness to say, you see more than I do. I respect your questions, yet I am teaching you that peace does not come from all the answers being clear, but from knowing you never navigate the unknown alone. My guidance is like a faithful companion walking beside you wherever your path twists. When you care for those you love, preparing breakfast, reaching out with a kind word, shielding them from disappointment. I am present, Nietzschecht. I care for your family more deeply than you know. Even when you feel helpless to change another's heart or exhausted by the needs before you, I am at work. I bring strength. To the parent whose patience is frayed, I offer rest. To the one who shoulders endless responsibility. When you slow down and let gentle gratitude shape your morning, you align your soul with my rhythm, drawing strength from my relentless faithfulness. You wonder if you're qualified for the calling in your heart, if you're enough for what I ask of you. Hear me clearly. I am your sufficiency. I shape your story not by your flawless performance, but through your honest surrender and willingness to rise again. Your frailty is not a disadvantage in my hands, but the place where my compassion flourishes. Each setback, each small beginning that seems fragile, is a seed watched over by me. I nurture what you cannot yet see, drawing vitality from every yes. You offer a vent to trembling ones. Lift your eyes today, beloved, from the narrowness of your own ability to my wide provision. I know the exhaustion that settles after disappointment or waiting. I also know the hope that sparks quietly when you remember you are chosen, not because of your perfection, but by my delight in you. When you pause in the quiet, when you permit gratitude or whispered prayer to rise, I strengthen you, infusing your mind and body with new courage. My voice is not harsh or impatient. It is their assuring song that sings over your doubts. The gentle nudge that says, rise and come walk with me. Let my presence anchor you now. Speak this prayer softly now. Lord, help me trust. Let those 3 words settle in your chest and feel how the tension loosens. The future is not yet shaped by worry. It unfolds as you trust moment by moment. The world will urge you to hustle or hide, to measure worth by what you can produce each day. My desire is different. First, let yourself be loved. Do not trust your morning or rush your decisions. Instead, welcome my nearness in the ordinary, the warmth of your mug against your palms, the breath you take before speaking, the softness of light in the corner of your favorite room. My spirit meets you therein. Simplicity and calls for gratitude from even the weary places. If questions about your destiny still swirl, find peace in my continual presence rather than in flawless strategies. Resting knowing I have not left you to navigate unknown seasons alone. My guidance is a steady stream, not a sudden flood. You will not miss it when you're quiet enough to notice the subtle guidance of my love. You are my beloved child. You have carried so much insolence, afraid that letting me into the chambers of your deepest questions would somehow expose a frailty I could not bear. But that is not true. I want all of you, the broken desire, the unanswered prayers, the memory you hide even from yourself. I see where you try to protect your heart by building invisible barriers, and I see the wariness that comes from holding it all together by sheer determination. You are not required to anchor yourself alone, for I designed you not as an island, but as a garden waiting for my gentle rain. The uncertainty, event the anger, they do not disqualify you from my love. They draw me closer. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Right now, feel the weight of my gaze resting softly on you. This is not the scrutiny of a judge, but the attentive invitation of a father whose longing is to mend and restore what you thought was forever lost. I know what lies behind the half answers you give others when they ask how you are. I heard the prayers you speak only in your mind, too tired to move your lips. It is time to stop pretending for my sake. I have never been repelled by your mess. The battle for perfection ends sure in this holy honesty. There is more freedom for you, more than you have dared hope, but it comes as you open. As you risk letting my light shine into those untouched corners, will you let me in truly fully? As you read these words, notice the rhythm of your breath. Inhale my presence, exhale, place your hand over your heart if you can, and in this simple gesture, acknowledge my nearness. Each heartbeat is an echo of my promise. I refuse to leave you abandoned. You sense in flickers a warmth spreading through your chest. That is me reminding you that you are safe to soft and safe to simply be without armor or bravado. Stop, let this moment linger just a few seconds longer. You don't have to rush, you do not have to perform. I am here now, even now. I know there is a voice inside that whispers, but what if I open up and nothing changes? What if vulnerability leads only to disappointment? Hear me. I am not a fleeting comfort, here for a moment and gone the next. I am devoted to your healing, patient in your process. The wounds that still sting, the places you wish you could erase, they are no evidence of failure, but testimony that you are alive and still reaching. My healing does not always arrive in the manner or the timing you expect, but it always comes. It may begin as a softening, as a lessening of the daily before it blooms into the joy you thought was out of reach. This is the paradox of surrender. What feels like risk is actually rescue. You think you're losing control, but in truth you are letting go of what never served you. The burden you carry loses its power as you name it before me. Say it out loud, even now. I am not alone. I am seen. Let the truth of those words settle into you. I want to replace the old refrain of I am too much or I am not enough with my declaration. You are perfectly positioned for restoration. There is nothing irredeemable in you, nothing I cannot turn into a source of beauty and strength. As you take in my words, notice any resistance rising in you, the hesitation that wonders if this is really for you. If you are the exception to my compassion, allow me to expose the origin of that lie. The enemy has whispered that my promises are for others, that your flaws set you beyond mercy's reach. But as even your doubts don't offend me, they are invitations to reveal myself more clearly, not reasons to hold yourself back. Your story matters to me. Your pain is not ignored. This level of honesty is where transformation begins, where old wounds lose their sting and begin to close with new skin. Do you feel the stirring, that gentle pressure in your spirit that is merging you closer, urging you to trust what nothing in your past gives you reason to? Believe this can be different. I am after total freedom, not surface agreement. This is why your journey is not random, why I've allowed you to come to the end of your own resources. Here in this surrendered space, resurrection is possible. Here you will find gifts emerging from what you thought was barren ground. Right now, breathe a little deeper. Grant yourself the kindness you have denied yourself for too long. You are not too late. There is no expiry on my invitations. My mercy is new for you, not just in the ori, but in this present breath, in the hush that come. Es over your soul live in now. Many before you have come to this same crossroad, terrified to open. Yet those who risked event the smallest whisper of trust learned what you are about to discover. I'm not like the others you down, and never tire and never abandon. Even when hope seems fragile, even when you cannot recall the last time you truly felt peace, I remain. In this precise moment, I am unraveling the knots of anxiety clinging to your thoughts. I am dissolving fear flood by gentle flood, renewing your mind with clarity and softening your heart to receive what previously bounced off. Very soon, you may not know exactly when you will feel an unexpected calm wash over you in the midst of your routines. A stillness that interrupts your old cycle of striving. That will be my signature on your day, a wink from eternity, reminding you that you are not forging this newness alone. Let your guard drop just a little more. If tears come, let them flow. What you interpret as weakness is actually strength breaking through. You have not been forgotten, nor have I overlooked as Engliching question. The love I extend is not conditioned on your ability to keep it together, nor is it withdrawn in moments of doubt. My patience outlasts your resistance. I will not press you beyond what you can bear. Instead, consider this an invitation to breathe. Taurus, believing again in the possibility of restoration. You, my precious one, are being prepared for something that outshines all you have lost. The best is not behind you, hidden in nostalgia or regret. The best is arising even out of these every ashes. Your season is shifting even if the evidence has not yet emerged. Stay with me as I move within you, for I am not finished yet. You are right where you need to be. There is something I am about to reveal, something only the soft-hearted, the courageous, the willing can receive. Will lie or remain open of now. You feel the intensity of my presence even as you add these words, the air growing thick with something holy and set apart. The stirring deep inside is not wishful thinking. It is the effect of my spirit coming near to the H you have masked so well for so long. Little one, your longing has not been lost in the noise of this world. Even in moments when despair threatened to overshadow every flicker of hope, I was seated beside you, gathering each silent tear like jewels more precious than you dare to imagine. If you put your hand over your chest now, sense the tempo of your heartbeat. There is purpose pulsing within every beat. You may wonder why certain doors remained closed, why some prayers echoed without answers. You may believe the delay means denial, that your petitions lit through the cracks of the divine. Pause now and breathe. Listen between the thoughts racing in your head. There is a son the answer starried, a love that shielded you when you mistook the weight for rejection. Soon you will see what I protected you from, and what I am still preparing for you. You keep replaying mistakes in your mind, fixating on the moments you stumbled, the words you wish you could unsay. That cycle of regret is exhausting, isn't it? My beloved, shame has no voice in my presence. I am not recalling your failures. I am announcing your transformation. Every scare you carry is evidence not of how far you fell, but of the rescue that followed. Let me replace the story of condemnation with a song of redemption. Say this into the silence. I am not defined by my past. My touch is carving new identity within the places shamans called home. You are not who you were even yesterday. This process is real. My spirit is relentless in love for you. You ask me if it's too late. If somehow by hesitating, by shrinking back in fear, you missed your moment. You are convinced the opportunity for breakthrough has passed you, by that you are sitting in the aftermath of God's disappointment. The truth is far more beautiful than your fear. I am the one who restores years eaten by loss, who can resurrect dry bones to vibrant life. Nothing is wasted. Note, even your missteps. I am the God who crafts masterpieces from what others discard. If you look into the mirror and only see brokenness, let my gaze transform your perception. You are chosen. You are healed in places still aching. You are marked by mercy and destined for more than endurance. There is a new beginning murmuring inside your waiting. That sensation of heaviness pressing down as if invisible hands encircle your chest, limiting your breath, it is not your portion. Place your hand over your heart and breathe deeply. As your breath expand, imagine my spirit pushing out what never belonged to you. Anxiety, shame, residual fear. Each exhale releases permission for me to perform the healing only I can accomplish. Right now, you might sense the warmth rising inside, energy like sunlight cutting through shadow. This is me. This is real. I am not a concept or a distant memory. My intimacy is persistent, my affection tangible. Even now, as you sit in quiet anticipation, you are wrapped in a covering that cannot be stolen. I know you carry questions that weigh much heavier than any public pain, secrets you never shared, silent battles that seem to have no end. The enemy exploits this secrecy to isolate you, to convince you nobody could understand, not even me. But I know every corner of your heart. You are fully seen, fully known, and still fully loved. Nothing hidden, nothing denied. When you feel the urge to shrink or mask your pain behind a stronger exterior, recall that I never asked you to be flawless. I desired surrender, not perfection. The invitation is open. Let me into the innermost chambers, even the ones cluttered with doubt and disappointment. That vulnerability is where true union begins. Even now, as you dare to be honest with the one who shaped your soul, sometimes you doubt whether you're actually hearing me, or just your own hopes echoing in your mind. You crave confirmation, a sign that what you sense and long for is indeed my voice. Let me assure you, a peace that settles in your spirit, an assurance that can't be shaken by your circumstances. That is my signature. When the world clamors for attention and stirs confusion, my guidance carries clarity. Even if it still feels risky to obey, breathe in this moment. Feel the courage rising, subtle but unmistakable, my child. You are not adrift. I whisper, and event the waves recognize my authority. You'll know it's me, because what I speak brings alignment and restoration to places of chaos within you. Even today you will find direction while performing the simplest tough tasks. A sign that I am intimately involved with every detail of your existence. Others around you have told you what is impossible. Their skepticism shaped the boundaries of your expectation, but I did not set those limits. There is a boldness awakening within you, pushing against walls you did not build. Let every no you've ever heard become the echo that makes my yes thunder louder in your soul. There is breakthrough stirring, not as an external eventual one, but as an internal uprising, the irreversible conviction that you are named, claimed, and assigned for divine purpose. Place your trust, event trembling inside my hands, and see if I will not defy every calculation stacked against resurrection. I am neither to maintain the status quo, but to ignite transformation that outlasts circumstance. Perhaps you see others around you walking in breakthroughs you still only dream of. Comparison fans the flames of inadequacy and unspoken entries to settle in the shadows of your heart. Release that now, precious one. Each journey is unique, each soul on its own pilgrimage. What I build in you is tailored, fitted perfectly to the design I envisioned before breath first filled your lungs. I withhold no good thing from you. If the road feels slow, it is only because the foundation needed extra strength for what is coming. Today I am pouring understanding and patience into your spirit. You have not missed out. The best chapters are yet unwritten, right now, part of yours. Is this hup afraid the trusting again will only lead to disappointment? There is protection in cynicism, but also a cost joy is forfeited. Let me show you a new way. Yield your guarded heart for a moment and just be still in my presence. Breathe, sense that my love is not a concept, but aerial force moment by moment remaking your reality. Watch as I begin to displace sorrow with anticipation, exchanging heaviness for garments of celebration. You are being made ready to recognize the answers to prayers you forgot you prayed. Even now, something is shifting. You may not see it with your eyes, but the inner landscape is changing. Hope springing up like green shoots after drought. I have not forgotten a single whispered plea. My nearness is your assurance. My promises are your anchor. Take this next step with me, allowing expectation to rise again in your spirit. Transformation is not only possible, it is inevitable for the one who remains in my presence. The process continues. Look around you, little one. Notice the way morning reveals what darkness held in shadow. With every sunrise, I meet you as you are, never asking you to hide or pretend. This is my invitation. Let your guard down before me, not as a show, but as the only way to truly live free. My nearness is not a passing sensation. It is the steady reality that guides you through seasons of both clarity and confusion. When you find the ache of yesterday still echoing in your chest, and fear tries to tell you nothing changes, breathe and remember, I am the God who carries you into each new day, never wary of your questions or setbacks. Release your grip, even just for this moment. As you unclench the hope you've tried to shape by your own strength, you'll feel my peace rising within, quiet, persistent, unwavering. I am not disappointed when you struggle to trust, nor am I surprised by your hesitation. When doubts whisper that surrender means defeat, let my voices speak louder. Surrender in my presence birth, the beginning of your true becoming. Every time you pause to let go, your spirit is sharpened. Made strong not by force, but by relationship with me. Keep letting me draw near. Your soul will learn the freedom of rest as my hands steady your trembling. You long for assurance that your efforts matter, for confirmation that eyes each sacrifice made behind closed doors. Hear me. Itaki greet delight in the unseen acts. The kindness is extended in places no one else applauds. The world is quick to measure worth by outcomes, but I am not distracted by the noise of comparison. Instead, I plant seeds of deep purpose within your routine, sanctifying moments you might rush past. Trust that nothing set before me, no quiet hour of prayer, no gentlings were chosen over anger will fade unnoticed. With me, worth is not measured by any temporary standard, but by the love fueling every decision. As you move through the day, distractions pull at your attention. That demands stack up. The needs of others sometimes seem endless, and you wonder where your own soul fits in the midst to fit all beloved. I want you to know that I do not lose you in the crowd. My gaze rests always and intentionally upon you. My presence does not dilute with numbers. Let this awareness sink in. You are singularly cherished, never one of many in my eyes. When you make space for my presence in the small interludes between breaths, between tasks, my life fills the empty pockets in your day. When anxiety tries to settle in your heart, remember that I am your anchor. My calm surrounds you like a river embraces its banks, shaping you with patience and mercy. When your mind spins with questions about tomorrow, step back into my rhythm by pausing even briefly to notice the warmth of sunlight on your hand or the steady in out of your breath. These gentle touch points bring you back to grounding you not in circumstances, but in my unchanging character. The peace I give is not the product of ordered plans, but the fruit of being held by me. In moments when you feel exposed, raw, or misunderstood, know that I am your safe covering. You are not required to explain yourself to me. I see deeper than excuses or performances. Be honest about your wariness and even your resentment. Bring it all to me. When you confess these burdens, I don't scold or shame. Instead, I wrap you in my understanding and gently lift your face too. Meet mine, let me carry what you're not meant to bear. Protection in my presence is not the absence of challenge, but the certainty that you journey shielded. Never abandon, wonder what progress looks like in this season, where outward results seems low or hidden, my beloved. Your growth is often invisible to the rushing world. But I cultivate a quiet resilience in your soul. Celebrate each day you choose faithfulness. Each moment stubborn hope rises in your chest, despite tired eyes. Maturity is not a show of strength for others, but a gradual opening of your heart toward mine. No matter how feeble or unsure, the smallest yes spoken when you wish to run away is precious to him, and it will never be wasted. I do not call you to compare your journey to another's. The pace is set for you is unique, guided by love and tailored to your design. When the pressure mounts to perform according to someone else's timeline, pause and listen for the rhythm of my voice. I am not rushed, nor am I delayed. I align breakthroughs and seasons of rest exactly when they benefit you most. Trust me to handle the timing. Your responsibility is to remain present with me. This is the soil where roots go deep and fruit endures beyond the moment. If you find yourself feeling disconnected, as if your prayers drift without answer, understand that I am moved by every longing of your spirit. Even when you sense only quiet, I am attentive there in the waiting silence, shaping faith that is genuine and alive. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. My guidance rarely arrives all at once. It unfolds as you walk light enough the next step. Take heart that my silence is never absence, but sometimes an invitation to trust that I'm cultivating something new beneath still ground. You will see in time how my presence has never wavered from your side. When your heart aches for those you love, for your family, for friends wrestling with uncertainty, offer them to me again. My care extends further than your reach, and my comfort outlasts your words. Stand in the gap through prayer and simple acts of kindness. Trusting that I am already at work where your hands cannot go, do not measure your influence by what you can control. Instead, release your cares into my keeping, and you will find your love multiplied, flowing back to you in ways only I can orchestrate. Stay close to me in seasons when uncertainty lingers. For I take pleasure not in your performance, but in your willingness to walk with me through shadows and sunlight alike. I delight to see you choose hope when cynicism seems easier. Every time you turn your heart toward me, no matter how frail your prayer, you yield a foundation that will outlast every storm. Hold on to this. You are not defined by what you fear or by what you lack, but by my life will live within you, a constant creative and daily source of new beginnings. Let your spirit quiet itself in the here and now, not grasping for the future or fretting about the unfinished. My presence is already filling this moment, and in it my strength is steady beneath your feet. When your breath catches at the memory of disappointments or the anticipation of what you cannot control, pause and return to me. Feel how even in stillness I pour out new vitality. My love is not a fleeting visitor, but a steady companion along every step. If you wonder whether your hesitations or past delays have placed you beyond my help, know this. My timing restores, never diminishes. I am not looking up on your story with impatience, but with the assurance that every morning offers space for new beginnings. Let the day's ordinary sounds, the gentle heartbeat in your chest, the subtle hush of the air around your mind you that you are not alone. Where anxiety would urge you to brace for disappointment or to carry burdens alone, remember my hand supporting you. When your mind races between imagined future crises and old regrets, invite me in. Turn your gaze from the storm within and allow your heart to settle into the calm impart. Even if your surroundings refuse to quiet, I plant peace deep within, a peace you cannot conjure, only receive. As you lean into that gift, watch as panic loosens its grip, and you discover the safety that has always been yours, as my beloved. You who carry concerns for your loved ones, trusting that your prayers reach me, let go of striving to control the destinies of those you cherish. I see their paths even clearer than you do, and my love for them surpasses what you could imagine. When you cannot be there to shelter or guide, whisper their names to men rest. The weight is not yours to bear alone. Release your anguish, hover how others walk, and trust their journeys to my wisdom and gentle correction. No seed of hope you plant in love goes unnoticed by me, and nothing slips through my attentive care. Perhaps you hesitate to believe good can truly unfold for you. Maybe you fear your flaws or failures have set limits around what I can through you. You are never too far gone, never too damaged to be made new and useful. Each breath you take is a reminder that your story is finished and precious. I have crafted purpose within you, unique call that shines even on your dimmest days. My vision for you does not shrink with your mistakes or waver at your struggles. Draw near, let me remind you what it means to belong without condition or performance. In moments of confusion, when choices seem overwhelming and clarity seems just out of reach, do not be discouraged. My guidance is not something you must earn or achieve by force. A guide you as surely as dawn brings light, soft and consistent, not always with loud certainty, but with gentle prodding and the peace that surpasses your understanding. Even when a path appears to close, even when waiting feels endless, trust that my direction abides. I will never leave you directionless. My voice is never distant from a heart that seeks me. No matter how faltering the steps may feel, let gratitude find you even when your circumstances offer no reason by human measure. There is sacred power when you choose thankfulness and hide what seems unresolved or insufficient, as you open your lips to give thanks for what is not, just for what you hope will be. I awaken in you the capacity to see gifts where others notice only lack. Start with a slow inhale, recognizing the miracle in each moment, and you will sense my favor sage in the warmth around you. Not favor me assured by outward triumphs, but by the assurance that I am truly with you, always working good even from fragments. Place your hand upon your heart now, feeling the steady rhythm that is set in motion, and consider how much you are cheery. Shed, your frailty does not repel me, nor do your doubts disqualify you. The world may press for perfection, but I celebrate your sincere turning toward me. No matter how clumsy your efforts might feel, know that my delight rests on you, not because of accomplishments, but because you dare to hope in me. Even a sigh or whispered longing catches my attention. I count every restless night, every silent tear, and I draw close. If this stirred, commit quietly. I will step forward in faith today. And if you feel led, share this message with one person who needs to hear it. A single act of courage can start a ripple. If you are burdened by comparison or anxiety about your unique path, fix your eyes on me. I crafted your story with intention, delighting in your nuances. What I desire from you is not a mimicry of someone else's journey, but your willingness to trust me with who you authentically are. Let my love define your worth and trajectory. You do not have to outrun shame or manufacture significance. Your identity is secure in my gaze. Each time you choose to trust my affirming voice over the noise of fear, you are learning anew what it means to be free. Listen, beloved, quiet your heart amidst life's noise. Allow yourself, even if just for a moment, to surrender the need to have every answer. Trust that I cherish your questions and walk patiently with you through them. I am not frustrated by your uncertainty. My nearness remains constant when your faith feels trembling or incomplete as you return. Tome again and again, I refresh your courage and remind you that your future is not fragile in my hands. Lift your face to the light of my approval and know that your hope is never in vain with me. There's so much yet I am nurturing beneath the surface, things you cannot yet see or understand. Wait in expectancy, not resignation. As you lean your weight on my promises, allow yourself to anticipate my goodness, even the slow, quiet unfolding. My presence is there, El treasure, the sustaining gift meant for every ordinary hour. When you doubt or feel small, come close. Again, even when you think you have nothing left to bring, find mere Eddie to wrap you in peace, restart your courage, and guide you onward. I have seen how you have braved countless storms, beloved child, and carried burdens that seem designed to break you. You wonder if you are simply shaped by your wounds, marked by anxieties that resurface each time you try to step forward. But today, hear me. Your scars are now becoming symbols of my faithfulness. You have not lost your way. Thought the fog still swirls and uncertainty haunts the edges of your decisions. I am here, more certain than any fear. Feel the warmth stirring in your chest? The invisible shelter that covers you even when noon else sees. That certainty is my presence, steady beneath the chaos. Stop for a moment. Breathe, lean into this pulse of assurance. I know what you've been thinking, wrestling with silent accusations that whisper you are disqualified, that your past forever taints your future that has lasted long enough. I declare to you, you are not who you were. Every regret, every memory you wish you could undo is being rewritten in the light of our shared journey. My hand has never left you, even when you could barely sense it. There's an arising within you of a bravery that did not exist before the pain. Soon you will realize that nothing you endured was wasted, not a single tear. I'm already bringing beauty from what tried to destroy you. Some days it feels as if the world asks too much, wanting you to be strong when you feel fragile. In your light, even as you search for hope yourself as it all. There is rest there, right here as you listen. Tension releases from your shoulders. My voice calls out what the world cannot see. You are marked for more. With every anxious thought laid at my feet, you become lighter, freer, able to rise. Breathe deeply now. Sense the relief that rushes in as you let go of that silent pressure to perform. In this moment, my gentle correction is forming a new strength in you, a persistent courage that will not crumble. You wonder if you're equipped for the dream's story. Gnang within you if these desires could possibly be seeds I have planted, or if they are just tempting disappointment. My answer is clear. I entrusted you with longing for a purpose. The ambitions that ignite when you think no one is watching are evidence of my design at work. Do not shrink back. The gifts I have poured into you are not accidents. They are invitations to partnership. As you yield control and trust my timing, you will see doors begin to move, quietly at first. With subtle shifts, you'll discern in the days to come. You'll know it's me because hope will strengthen, not diminish, each time you respond to my gentle nudge. Can you feel the invitation? This is not our prime end for struggling or doubting. I know how disappointment leaves its mark, how the world's harshness tries to smother your passion. Yet you're still listening, still reaching for more. There's nothing ordinary about that persistence. You are being commissioned, even as you question yourself, what you carry, your empathy, your wisdom born of hardship, your resilience will become answers for those still lost in the dark. Soon your story will become shelter for others. The transformation now taking root will overflow. This is not the end of your formation. It is the birthing of a new authority. You are not alone in this. Many have walked this path before you, trembling and uncertain, thinking themselves too flawed to be chosen. Thousands have exhaled fear, inhaled grace, and discovered a strength they never believed could exist within them. You are among these awakened ones now called out of hid. Illuminated by the fire, ignite in surrendered hearts. Let your uniqueness emerge, even if it feels fragile or unworthy. There is noon I love the same way I love you. No comparison, no competition, only my delight in seeing you become fully alive. Pause here right now. Rest your hand over your heart. Feel my presence pulsing beneath your skin. This is the moment you get to agree with my verdict. You are more than enough because I am your sufficiency. All those times you imagined your prayers vaporizing into silence. Know this: nothing you've spoken to me has ever gone unheard. Await my answer and watch for signs. This week, a conversation will unfold where you will speak words you did not rehearse. Truth so needed. You will sense my spirit shaping every syllable. You'll know it's me because it will set someone else free, even as it heals something long hidden in you. Do not fear your voice. I am amplifying your story. There is a question rising inside you. Can this new identity last, or will old cycles pull me under again? My response is unwavering. You are sealed by my love. Yes, habits and memories may urge you back into old patterns, but my power in you is stronger than any habit. Return here to this grounding. Breathe deeply. Let my voice anchor your mind even as you walk through daily routines. Each time you catch yourself spiraling, pause, say aloud, I am chosen, I am redeemed, I am His. These are no empty words. They are keys that unlock freedom. Feel the anticipation. It's the undercurrent that signals a coming breakthrough. I am not preparing you for mere survival, but for influence that leaves a mark on every life you touch. Where shame once ruled, boldness is now rising. Where isolation lingered, you are becoming a conduit of connection. This transformation cannot be contained or reversed by any force, because I am the author and finisher. With every step into your true identity, you align with a legacy far larger than your personal victories. Even now, as weariness threatens to dull your hope, remember you are wrapped in my protection. Nothing can disqualify what I have redeemed. Harthis. What you sense is stirring is the first wave of your commissioning. You are being equipped for every good work shaped for a purpose the world desperately needs. Do not despise your journey. The cost you have paid is becoming the oil that heals so theirs. Rest a moment longer. Let expectation overflow. There is more for you to discover about who you are and why I have called you by name. All through the long arc of your day, I remain in every shift of light. Every encounter, every whispered hope or shadowed thought, my attention doesn't slip from you for a moment. My care is not measured by performance, but by my everlasting resolve to walk beside you. There are moments when the world's demands press in relentlessly, seeking to define your value or choke your confidence. Yet I am not swayed by those shifting measures. Is your heart seeing courage even in your smallest step forward, cherishing each honest question and humbled attempt? My delight is not held back by your uncertainty. Pause for breath. When anxiety tightens your chest, when the noise outside starts to rise, place your hand on your heart and remember, I breathe peace into your depth. 7 now. Let my calm anchor you, spreading slowly from your core outward, quieting restlessness. You don't need to rush to keep up with pressures that threaten to steal your peace. Instead, stand still for a moment in my presence, steady your feet. Every time you invite me into your fears and doubts, is around you with wisdom and guidance you did not realize you needed. Every relationship, every conversation, bring them to Him. There are times when you feel isolated in your struggles or misunderstood by those closest to you. I see where your heart aches to be known, to be valued, to be understood. I am the one who truly knows you, your motives, your laughter, your tears held back for the sake of others. When you fear that you are falling behind or failing to meet expectations, let me remind you that your worth is not found in comparison or achievement, but in my love for you. My gaze is gentle, never harsh. I meet you where you are with compassion and renewal. Let go, dear one. The fear that your mistakes will separate you from me. I do not withdraw when you stumble or draw back when you repeat old patterns. Even on days you wish you could go back and rewrite words or decisions, I am here in the present, inviting you to try again. Mercy flows fresh each morning. Rather than rehearsing regret, lean into the new beginnings I deliver with the sunrise. Allow the warmth of my forgiveness to soften the places where shame wants to linger. There is no condemnation in my voice, only a call to begin again with hope. you have wondered if your prayers matter. If your voice is heard amid me, know that I pay attention not just to eloquent requests, but to silent cries and sighs when words are few. Each longing, each hope you tuck away, I gather and treasure. Lift your concerns to them not as burdens you must carry alone, but as offerings I am eager to receive. Surrender your loved ones, your dreams, and the things you cannot change into my hands. Nothing placed in my care is ever lost or wasted. My timing is not your own, but my faithfulness never fails. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing sup. Thanks, from $50 to $100. In the moments where you feel you are merely holding on, remember that my strength does not run dry. It is not dependent upon yours. When your energy wanes and motivation fades, draw from my endless supply. Rest is not a weakness. It is a gift grant so you can be restored, not run to exhaustion. Find me in the pause and quiet space where you remember whose you are. I quiet every storm, sometimes with peace within, sometimes with change around you. Either way, you are never abandoned in your need. My plans for you stretch wider than your worries. Seeds of purpose buried in the routines of your life. Some days fruit is evident, joy, compassion, kindness shared with others. Other days the growth is hidden underground, nourished by faithfulness in unseen places. Do not despise low progress, for I value perseverance over perfection. Trust that your small, repeated acts of trust are noticed by me. Yes, there will be seasons of visible harvest, but also long stretches of rooting and preparation. Through it all, in nurture each promise is spoken over your life. When doubts creep in with the setting sun, questions about your future, about outcomes you cannot predict, allow my presence to be enough for now. I have not led you this far only to abandon you in uncertainty. Even when you do not see the path ahead clearly, I hold you steady and steer you gently. Your obedience in the present, your willingness to be available right where you are, matters greatly to me. I untangle what confuses. I illuminate the next step when you listen for me direction. Clarity emerges day by day, even when others overlook your effort or misunderstand your motives. I am the one who fully sees. Take comfort in knowing that I recognize your hidden sacrifices and the silent choices to do right when noon is watching. My reward is deeper than earthly applause. It is the assurance of my pleasure in your faithfulness. Plant your confidence in affirmation, not the shifting opinions of people. My lover remains unwavering and true, carrying you from one day to the next with quiet, persistent grace. I'm as close as the morning light and as enduring as the night. Every question, every unspoken need, every longing, bring them into the quiet with me. As you entrust yourself to my love, you will discover courage, not your own peace, deeper than circumstance, and hope that rises again and again. Rest, for there is more ahead. In all things, I am with you, sustaining, strengthening, loving you into every need. Why you senseth the atmosphere shifting as you draw near. Nothing truly separates you from my love, no failure, no silence, now on too deep for my hand. I bring you here on purpose, for here is where grace runs wild and mercy gets the final word. I have watched as you struggled, believing perhaps there was a threshold your pain might reach that caused me to pull away. That will never happen. What you have called broken, I am already calling beautiful. What you feared was wasted, I have counted as the seedbed of tomorrow's strength. You have not wandered too far. This threshold invite you in, notice a guest but a one who belongs. When the shadows press, when your heart races in the middle of the night, remember this, my presence surrounds you. Even now, you might be questioning if this is real, if you can trust again, if hope is safe. I see that hesitation. Let it come. I am not afraid of your questions. I am not threatened by your doubts. I delight in your honesty, for it draws you to me more authentically than all the forced prayers or hollow declarations. Pause for a moment. Place your hand gently on your chest and notice the steady rhythm beneath your palm. That's not just the beat of a physical heart. That is the pulse of my design. Evidence that I have dreamed of you long before the world knew your name. When grief threatens to smother your peace, when you are tempted to shield your heart from further aches, hear my voice whispering in that quiet space. You are not alone, you are never alone. I am your covering, your refuge, your closest companion through both calamity and celebration. The cost of giving up now is far greater than you can see. You have fought battles unseen, stood insolent agony, and yet you have not gone unseen by me. My gaze has lingered with you in the small hours. My arms have steadied you when courage failed. There have been moments 7 this week when you felt an odd sense of comfort was hover you. A peace that made no sense according to your circumstances. That was me. You'll notice it again. When you least expect it, I want to remind you, you are not defined by seasons of struggle. You are marked by my love, established in a purpose that no storm can uproot. Let yourself breathe deeper right now. Loosen your jaw, unclench your fists, and let your soul remember what rest feels like. In that release, you open doorways in your heart I've long been waiting to fill. Doubt has been your frequent companion, and I don't rebuke you for it. Instead, I meet you in the wavering, in that flickering candle of hope you've tried to keep alive when the winds are wild. There, eyes no shame in longing for certainty or in wishing the pain would end sooner. But Herma, clearly, what you thought would destroy you is becoming the soil of resurrection. I do not waste pain. I do not ignore the cries you think are too small or too raw to bring before me. Your tears are precious to me. The journey has not always made sense, but I have hidden strength inside you that cannot be erased by disappointment. When your mind spirals with questions, have I missed my chance? Is it too late for me? I answer, yes. You have missed something. You've missed seeing how fiercely I fight for you when you feel defenseless. Stop measuring your worth by your weakness. Every scar carries the evidence of my hand holding you together. You are still here. That is not an accident. You are still wanted. That will not change. I am calling you to stand up in the full authority I have given you. Stop repeating the lies of inadequacy and shame. Speak aloud. I am chosen. I am loved. I am not who I was. Even if your voice trembles, your honesty moves my heart, little one. Your identity is not pieced together by the opinions of others or the voices of your past. You are being fashioned by my relentless affection, and my declaration of your worth is irrevocable. You have seen glimpses of breakthrough, and more is coming. This week, you will encounter an unexpected kindness. And you'll know it is me because it will come wrapped in gentleness that calms your anxious thoughts. Be attentive to the way your body settles. The sight that escapes when you pause in my presence. These are not meaningless sensations. They are the language of connection between my spirit and yours. Many before you have passed through the valley you now find yourself in, and countless have found me faithful on the other side. You are part of a hidden remnant rising, a movement of hearts refusing to be defined by what was stolen or by what has yet to arrive. Stop comparing your journey to the timeline of others. I am writing a story unique in all creation, a testimony that will awaken hope for those still in the shadows. Your pain is not the end of the story. Lift your head, precious one. Trust that I am orchestrating redemption faster and deeper than you imagine. The river of my love is swelling over the banks. Let it sweep away the residue of old disappointments. There are people waiting for the healing that will flow through the very places you once so lonely as wounds. Today marks another threshold, not a finish line, but an invitation to greater intimacy and surrendered trust. As you continue, expect moments of clarity to come unexpectedly. Perhaps in the quiet of dawn, maybe as you wash your hands, or in the laughter of a child, or even in a silence that feels holy and weighty. That is my voice, my fingerprint. I walk ahead of you and behind you, hemming you in, ensuring that nothing is wasted. There is nowhere safer than closeness to me right now. Let yourself surrender the agenda you still clutch, the outcomes you try to control. Give me your fears, your hopes, your hidden dreams. I will reshape them brilliantly, forming a future that reflects my character more than your best plans could have achieved. You are already enough. I will not let you fall. I will not let you go. Is you stirring in this illness, heart brimming with questions only I can satisfy? This moment is not an accident. I have drawn you here into this gentle pauses so my voice can settle on you like fresh rain. There is something I want to say, a note your soul cannot afford to miss today. Listen, not as a distant echo, but as a living answer to the longing beneath your striving. My gaze upon morning light parts the darkness. My presence wraps around you, offering shelter from every restless doubt. You wonder perhaps if is the weight you quietly carry, the pressure to measure up, the silent longing for rest, the concern for those you love. Little one, I can know each burden by name. Before you even open your eyes to the world, I've already marked out mercy for your coming day. The breath you draw right now is my gift, evidence that you're not alone. Lay a hand on your heart and realize what keeps you alive is not the sum of your worries, but my patient care fueling every beat. Donna Thury past this awareness remain in these few seconds, letting my nearness dissolve the old anxiety. As how you skin ahead, hungry for reassurance. You're searching for signs. Will everything work out? Will this season finally change? Donna hide your questions, let them rise before me. There is no shame here, only the open table is set for you each morning. Bring your uncertainty as an offering. My peace is bigger than fear and my wisdom far deeper than your anxious anticipation. When you pause long enough to notice that first slant of sunlight, I'm already beneath it, inviting you to test hope before worry can claim its territory. There's a subtle tension in you, the tug of war between gratitude for what is and grief for what seems missing. You look at your family, your circumstances, their rhythms that fill your day, and sometimes wonder if I are truly seen, truly loved. You are neither invisible nor overlooked in my story. Every detail from your smallest habit to your deepest hope matters greatly to me. Hold this truth close as you move from your quiet room into the unfolding of your day. You are not passing through life unnoticed. I am attentive with the devotion of a father who delights in every small act of faith, every hidden prayer. Let gratitude become your anchor, not the performative kind, but one's thanks for breathing your lungs, warmth on your body, the hush before demands swell. Watch how this gratitude shifts things. Every sigh of relief, every smile that breaks unexpectedly is my spirit breathing joy into your ordinary hours. When heaviness tries to press in, answer with a whispered thank you. It doesn't have to sound spiritual. Let it be simple, like a child's hands lipping into mine. The more you set your attention on gifts, the less power anxiety holds. There will be moments today when you feel the urge to predict outcomes or grab for control. When that tightening comes, when you want to hurry my timing or lean on your own solutions, remember who I am. My timing is not your enemy. What appears as delay is often fertile ground for trust to grow. Seeds do not push through earth in a single morning, but daily, imperceptibly until fruit bursts with life. Yield the outcome you desire into my hands, even if your mind tries to rehearse worry again. Surrender is not a defeat. It is an opening for my strength to enter. You may be asking yourself right now, why does it feel like I'm facing the same uncertainties over and over again? Why do the answers in need seem so slow to arrive? I want you to understand that my pace is measured by love, not by the pressure of deadlines or outcomes. If you find yourself in a season of waiting, it simply means I am preparing you for something that is meant to last. It is far better to arrive at your destiny fully ready, deeply rooted within the sanctuary of my presence, than to rush ahead and wither because your roots were shallow. Whenever you feel that familiar impatience steering, pause and remember, my eyes have not turned away from you. I'm actively shaping you for endurance and for peace. Even as you long to see visible results right now, I invite you to rest in who you are. You are not defined by your past mistakes, by family expectations, or by the moods that rise and fall like the tide. In my eyes, your identity is unshakable. You are beloved, chosen, and set apart. The world may try to name you according to your failures or your fleeting successes, but I call you by a different name. When shame tries to whisperless to you, lift your chin and remember that I define you, not your wounds, not their opinions, and not the quiet regret that sometimes lingers when you are alone. Pause now. Take 3 slow, deliberate breaths. As you inhale, say to yourself, I am beloved. As you exhale, say, I release the rush. Let those words settle in your chest for a moment. Wrap yourself in this truth and watch how courage begins to awaken inside you. Even when you feel exposed, when it seems like the world expects more from you than you have to give, remember that I am your shield. My protection is not just for the dangers you can see, but also for the silent pressure that wears you down over time. Picture me right beside you as you step into your routine places. The kitchen, the bus stop, the office, the places where you are both ordinary and astonishing. Every environment, no matter how simple or complex, becomes holy ground the moment you invite my presence into it. Nothing you face today will surprise me or exhaust my care for you. Right now I am stirring hope from the embers of yesterday's disappointments. Every regret, every missed opportunity, every failure you rehearse quietly at night, I can redeem it all. My capacity to restore you goes far beyond what you believe is possible. I am not limited by the boundaries of your experience. What you bring to me, even if it feels scattered or incomplete, becomes radiant in my hands. Watch how I transform your offering, however small, into a source of renewal for you and for those around you. Whisper a short prayer right now. 1 sentence is enough. Show me your presence today. Say it aloud and listen for the still small reply. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing. Super thanks. From $50 to $100. There is more I want to show you, so trust this unfolding, even as questions remain, and note every answer arrives on your timetable. I invite you to lean into me voice. The path ahead is marked by my footsteps. Keep coming. Let your longing for clarity find resting, knowing I walk with you, step by step, as the silent morning hush lingers about you. Feel my nearness fall upon you like the hush before Agent Lorraine. I have already walked the path ahead, knowing the quiet yearnings your heart carries and the heaviness you sometimes hide even from yourself. There is nothing I have missed or forgotten about you. Not a single sigh, not a fleeting hope, not a hidden ache. My gaze does not stray from you. My attention does not waver. In my presence, you are safe to bring every silent longing into the light where healing glimmers, even if the waiting has drained your strength. Let your breath be slow and deliberate today. Let your anxieties rest upon my open palms for just a moment. Allow the worries that noisily demand answers to ease their grip. You may think nothing is changing, that I am silent, but I am never still where you are, Insert, take out a page or open your phone notes and write one small thing you want God to restore. Label it seed. Keep it somewhere you can see it this week. Feel the weight begin to loosen as you inhale my peace, a peace that meets you right where your mind wants to race ahead. As the room around you warms and the outside world slowly stirs, know that I cover your day with a steadying hand, guiding you step by small step, never rushing what is ripening within you. My timing is not bound by what you see, when impatience pushes or comparisons try to steal your joy. Remember, I am forming in you something beautiful that cannot be hurried. Trusting me is not idly waiting, it is choosing to believe right here and now. My care is actively shaping every unseen detail, every quiet act of gratitude, every whispered thank you. Amid uncertainty is precious to. These offerings become gateways for my presence to expand in your life, crowding out fear and ushering in softness where you once felt only ash. You may worry about those you love, wishing you could shield them from pain or chart their perfect course. You may even try to burdens that were always meant to rest in my hands. In these moments, let surrender become more than an idea, let it become a quiet action. Imagine placing each name, each hope for your family into my care. Picture my steady arms cradling them, even as you release your tight grip. My love for them runs deeper than you can understand. My plans for their lives are good beyond your imagining, and I will never fail to watch over them. If this passage touched you, share one sentence from it with someone who needs to hear reassurance today. Send it now, even if it's just a short text. If your pace chose with memories that rise unbidden, if regret hover and threaten to shape your identity, pause here with me. My love is not conditional, nor is it fragile in light of your failures. I am the one who gathers all the pieces you whiz. How you could change and instead refashions your story into a wellspring of new beginnings. Shame cannot hold you here. Old mistakes cannot cage you. My invitation is always toward redemption, a fresh start. No matter how many times you feel you have faltered, there may be times you wonder if your voice is heard in the great swirl of the world. Whether your quiet prayers rise above the noise, I assure you, every whispered longing meets my ear, in the rhythm of each new morning. I am attentive to the smallest details, each hope for direction, each cry for relief. You need not perform or prove your worth to be known by me. Simply being before me with honest need and open hands delights my heart and readies you for what I am unfolding. When anxiety tightens its hold, when uncertainties gather at the edges of your day and make you question if I are truly equipped for what lies ahead, allow me to steady your spirit. Picture my arms as a firm presence around your shoulders, easing your breath, quieting the alarms within. Even now I am pouring fresh courage into you, strength, this note earned by striving but received in a quiet place when you confess your fear and trust me to lead you anyway. If you can say aloud 3 times, I am not who I was, let that truth land in your bones. If you find yourself resisting slow seasons, longing for resolution, know that I waste nothing in your waiting. Patience is never a punishment but a preparation. I am cultivating faithfulness in you, plowing deep the soil of your heart so roots can reach for living water. In these silent stretches, I am revealing to you your true identity. A son, a daughter, beloved, never forgotten or passed over. I am unlocking new clarity about what truly matters. Even when outcomes aren't visible yet, look for me in small mercies. Look for the quiet steadiness of your breath, the steadiness that rises as you offer a morning thanks. Feel my reassurance as you step toward difficult conversations or unknown tasks with a softness you did not create on your own. These are glimpses of my presence, evidence that I go before you, making even ordinary moments holy when surrendered to me. If old habits clamor for your attention or you feel drawn back into rhythms that rob joy, remember I am patient and gentle, shaping growth in ways you cannot always measure. As you move through this day, know that you do not journey alone. My wisdom surrounds every choice, eager to guide you where confusion once reigned. My protection is not a distant promise, but a present shield that covers places you cannot always see. I am faithful to provide fresh vision, widening your perspective beyond what you feared was possible. Dare to believe that I am opening doors, perhaps not always in the forms you expected, but in ways that ultimately strengthen and equip you for every good thing prepared for your life. Let these assurances sanctuary you as the hours unfold, and know I am ever near, ready to speak, to guide, to comfort. My affection is unchanging, my promise is true. Even as you wait to see the fullness revealed, in every pause, in every inhale, I am at work within you. You are carried by hands that never grow weary. Let each new day teach you to welcome my presence before anything else. As your eyes open and your body adjusts to the first taste of morning, or feel my nearness settle around you closer than your very breath, I am not a distant witness to your routine, but the quiet strength beneath your feet, upholding you with a care you can lean your full weight into. Begin with me, notice the difference. Notice how even the smallest moments begin to shine with purpose. How worries seamless, sharp beneath the touch of my hand on your shoulder. You are not meant to rush headlong into uncertainty alone. Come pause, draw from the wellspring is set before you every morning. You may carry burdens that feel unspoken, or a chest that rarely surface in words, anxieties that wind themselves around your heart before your day has truly begun. Bring them to me. Let the hush of the room around you be the space where you offer every fear, and as you do, notice how I quiet your thoughts with a peace not found in striving. Beauty and surrender, you moved when you trust me, not just with your successes, but with the weight you dread others might see. It is here that I remind you, little one, nothing you carry is too small or too tangled for my gentle authority. Sometimes you wonder if I see the unseen hours, the efforts that never earn applause, the hidden prayers behind closed doors. My gaze never leaves you, not in the solitude, not in the clamor. I attend closely to every sigh, and your faithfulness in what feels small is precious to me. Where you think nothing is changing, I am planting seeds that will bear fruit in my timing, not yours. I honor the slow growth you cannot yet perceive. When doubts whisper, what if I am not enough? Recall that my love for you is not measured by your output. You are cherished simply because you are mine. Listen for me in the quiet as well as the commotion. The room may be filled with the noise of tasks and expectations, but I am fluent in silence and stillness. When hurried thoughts press you to do more, pause for a moment. Breathe deliberately. Feel my peace settle within your chest. Let thankfulness rise even before you see the reason. Gratitude is a doorway to my presence. With each exhale, surrender those outcomes you cannot control. And remember, my guidance does not run dry, nor does my patience with your pace. Grace meets you every morning like dew on the grass. You do not need to strive for my acceptance as if it might slip away. My compassion is faithful through your mistakes, persistent in the face of your doubts and unwavering when you do not feel strong. Lift your eyes, feel the warmth of my light even on the days you stumble. I am the one who lifts you up, who steadies your steps, who calls you forward, not because you earned it, but because you are loved beyond calculation. When anxiety nudges at your rizzo, and you fear what the day might bring, remember that I am both your covering and your way forward. I don't promise every circumstance will obey your expectations, but I promise my steadfastness whatever you walk through. Take heart, for you are not left to navigate the unknown alone. I am with you in each conversation, each decision, each unexpected turn. You may not always see my hand in the moment, but later you'll recognize the fingerprints of my goodness. Bring me your longing for family, whether for restoration, unity, or simply peace within your clo. Seth circles, I care deeply about every relationship that weighs on your heart. Where there is strife, let me begin a quiet work of healing. In the places of distance or misunderstanding, invite me to fill the gaps you cannot bridge by yourself. You do your part in love and trust me for the miracles you cannot orchestrate. My love is the force that gathers, holds, and mends. My timing is perfect, even when you are wary of waiting. If you have wondered whether your life is on the right path or questioned if what you do truly matters, listen carefully. I call you not you. Stito busyness but a purpose. Your significance is not diminished by the world's noise. It is established by my voices speaking over you. You belong. Rest in that identity. Boldness grows when you understand whose you are. Let comparison fall away. You are uniquely formed for what I place before you, and no one else can fulfill that calling in quite the same way. Sometimes your thoughts race ahead, fearing the future or lamenting the past. In these moments, let my presence anchor you squarely in the now. Feel the rhythm of your own heartbeat and know that I hold each moment. Itis in today's faithfulness, that tomorrow's strength is prepared. Doneth hurry past the gentle miracles unfolding right before your eyes. Grace, mercy, a fresh breath, another chance. Each is a sign that I am investing in your hope, not punishing you for shortcomings, but lifting you toward promise. My protection surrounds you not as a distant shield, but like a hand that closes gently around what matters most to you. You may not see all that I ever or every danger turn aside, but trust that nothing escapes my notice. Where you feel vulnerable, call upon me. Where you are unsure, look for my guidance, shining unexpectedly in a word, a kindness, an opportunity. I am not far from any cry, and my answers are shaped by wisdom you may not yet understand, but can trust is good for you. You have come far, beloved, is the courage that carried you through nights when sleep would not come, when thoughts ran wild and loneliness gnawed at the edges of your hope. I was there, closer than the breath rising in your chest. Even now as you listen, agentless strength gathers around you. You sense a distinct shift, a subtle invitation to unclench your fists, to let go of what you thought was keeping you safe. That defense, my child, was never meant to be your shield. I am your covering. The war now blooming in your core is not wishful thinking, but the nearness of my presence wrapping comfort around your spirit. This is your moment to receive. You have whispered. Why does it still hurt? The itchy in your soul is not a sign of abandonment or failure. I know the battles you've waged in silence, the weight you hid behind smiles and busyness. It may appear that nothing has changed, but in truth, something new is unfolding each time you draw near to him. The places of pain are soil for something far more beautiful. Your wounds are not ugly to me, they are tender ground for healing and deep transformation. Even as uncertainty lingers, you are stepping into airy realm where my voice becomes unmistakable. That heaviness, that familiar H doesn't define you. In me hands, it is being remade. Put your hand over your heart right now. Feel its rhythm, wild and steady. In this simple act, you agree with heaven's truth that you are held, chosen, never out of my sight. I speak no to what has felt numb. Those dreams declared dead and memories you avoid, they are not beyond resurrection. What if it told you that the very place you wish you could erase is where I am planting resilience? I was nothing. Knowing what once threatened to break you, where the enemy tried to bury you in regret, I am calling forth a garden of peace, joy, restoration. Breathe in deeply. This is not the end of your story. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Doubt still knocks, whispering that none of this can be real, that you are too broken or far gone for transformation. I dismantle that lie right now. You are not too much and never not enough. That secret comparison, that scrolling through others' highlight reels, release it into my care. Their journey is not your race. I crafted you uniquely with strength they do not possess and weaknesses I am redeeming into glory. Every victory, every scar, every lesson, these are tokens of my faithfulness. Listen closely. Today is not a repetition of yesterday's disappointments. Do you feel my invitation? I am breaking the monotony. I am stirring courage where resignation once reigned. There's a stirring in the atmosphere. Can you sense it? My breath moves across you like agent the wind shifting the dust of old. Stories, old definitions, patterns that kept you wrapped are unraveling. Even when you can't chart exact progress, trust that every time you choose a surrender over self-reliance, heaven celebrates your courage. Hold on to this. What you release to me, I multiply in ways you have not yet imagined. Sometimes breakthrough looks like a single step, a whispered yes. In the dark, nodal ways the thunderbolt of external change you expect. But in the hidden places, transformation pulses strong. You're not who you were. Notice how your body responds, shoulders relaxing, jaw unclenching, breath flowing more freely. This is the sign of my peace is settling in you, driving out anxiety, making room for hope. That tension is not yours to manage alone. Hand it to me again. Let yourself rest, not because your problems are solved, but because you are found in me. Peace is your inheritance, not our reward for having it all together, but a birthright infused into your very identity. When the familiar voices of worry try to surge, pause. You are shielded in a covering that cannot be removed. Perhaps you wonder, can I really trust again after so much disappointment? Do you honor your honesty? I can know every reason you've built walls, every secret vow to protect your heart from another letdown. Let me show you a different kind of safety. My love is not fragile, unlike human promises. I remain steady even when your faith feels fragile. It is safe to try again. With me, risk becomes the birthplace of new beginnings. Lift your eyes now. Do you see the faint outline of doors cracking open? Possibilities you thought lost are steering. You don't have to force them. Simply be present and let expectancy arise. Thousands have stood where you now stand on the edge of surrender, hearts trembling between hope and fear. They found that when they released all facades and brought true longing into my presence, I embraced them without hesitation or judgment. This journey is not about perfection. It is about letting yourself be fully seen and fully known. That is where transformation erupts, where power flows and shackles fall away. Feel the courage building in your bones. The lies that once held you captive are breaking. I have called you out of hiding. Stop, let those words soak into the places that resist. Resistance is not failure. It is a sign you are close to breakthrough. Sometimes your heart protests because it senses the old self must finally make way for the new. Will you let go of the versions of yourself shaped only by pain, shame, or scarcity? I am not asking you to deny your history, but to hand it over so I can redeem every chapter. You are not a story of abandonment, but a living testament to relentless love. Right now, you may feel wary, concerned that opening further will only make you vulnerable to more wounds. I understand. It matters to men that ye who feel safe enough to risk. I promise where I lead, I provide protection. My nearness is your armor. Trust grows slowly, watered by honest moments like this. Start small. Speak aloud. I am safe in your presence. Let your own ears hear that declaration and notice the subtle peace settling deeper still. I will teach you to trust again, not through forced faith, but by continual demonstrations of my goodness. There is a mystery unfolding beneath your awareness. You are sensing changes in places once numb. Old fears surface only to melt in the radiance of my kindness. You think it's coincidence, but it's my spirit at work. You'll know it's me because healing comes softly in the mundane routines and unexpected conversations. Within 72 hours, you will overhear words or receive a message that brings clarity to a question you dared not ask. Recognition will spark in your spirit, and you will know this is my confirmation customized for you alone. Feel your heartbeat once more. That steady rhythm is the anthem of a soul being revived, not because of effort, but because of surrender. You are not being asked to strive. I simply invite you to trust that what I am building is stronger and safer than any wall you've raised, any plan you've clung to. The old limitations no longer define what is possible, and shame will not be your taskmaster. It is time to breathe in freedom. You are on holy ground, beloved, right now. There is much more for you to discover, and even as relief ebbs and flows, each moment in my presence is carrying you further into destiny. Pay attention to the subtle ways peace lingers. Watch for hope rekindling in conversations, in quiet thoughts, even in the shadows. You are stepping into something unprecedented. Your willingness to risk, to trust, is reshaping not only your story, but the lives of all around you. I am moving, and nothing will be the same. The next step is closer than you realize. You are not there by accident, my beloved. This moment, as you sense my words reaching deep into the places you barely let yourself acknowledge, I am drawing back another veil. I am inviting you to let the questions rise, the ones you think might disappoint me, the ones you tuck away when you're trying to best strong for others. I desire your honesty more than your composure. Open to me even the doubts you have sheltered, the ones that argue you might never change, never fully heal. I know the battles raging behind your quietest sighs, and I hold every unspoken ache. You have not shattered beyond my ability to restore. Even now, I am gathering the scattered fragments of your hope, breathing new life where you only see dust. What you perceive. These final endings I call beginnings in disguise. You may notice that as you listen, truly listen, a peace is awakening inside you, one that stands guard against the accusations that resurface in the night. See how tirelessly you work to avoid old patterns, how you brace yourself with rituals meant to protect, yet never seem to truly satisfy. even in your attempts to fix yourself. I am gently whispering, it was never yours to fix alone. My hands are masterful, shaping what was once broken and making it a cell of honor. Yes, you have reasons to be afraid, reasons born from stories only you and I know in full, but my love is more ancient than those wounds. When the future intimidates you with unknowns, stand already victorious in every moment ahead. Feel your breath again. Let it fill your chest as though it were the first taste of freedom after a lifetime in hiding. That gentle warmth rising through you now, that is my reassurance, not wishful thinking. Each inhale is in agreement with my promise. You are secure, you are relentlessly loved. You are not who you were last year, last month, even yesterday. Your transformation is not measured by perfection, but by your continued return to my embrace when you stumble. And you will, I am the steady presence, unwavering and unashamed to call you mine. In every failure is the courage it took to try again. There are times when you wonder if you have made a mistake too great. Spoken words too sharp, withdrawn from me too long. I tell you this, my mercy is stubbornly persistent. It hunts down every shadow, determined to turn your regrets into wisdom, your shame into testimony. Stop measuring your worth by how quickly you recover or how little you need. What I want most is for you to stop running from your neediness, to rest in the truth that even your need is a doorway for my power. I know it feels foreign and rest, to release the vigilance that has kept you alert for pain. Yet that is exactly where you begin to taste a resurrection right now. I want you to feel the weight lift from your shoulders. With every exhale, surrender what you have been carrying in your own strength. If tears threaten, it's because I am loosening burdens you long thought permanent. Do not fight the rising emotion. Do not apologize for your humanity. I celebrate your vulnerability, for in it my glory is revealed. Take your hand and place it over your heart if you are able. Notice its steady beat, a secret language between your soul and mine. You are live with purpose, not just surviving, but being rewritten with every moment you say yes. To me you ask if you will ever be truly free of patterns that seem stitched into your identity. Hear me. You are not defined by your cycles or your scars. I am the God who speaks new names over you. Where you hear addict or failure or unlovable, I declare redeemed, steadfast, radiant. Watch forth a shift. I will confirm this truth and that resonate not just in spirit, but through words others speak over you this very week. When you hear someone say something that sounds like hope tailored for you, know that it is my voice disguised as encouragement from a friend, a stranger, a still moment. You are not the only one walking this unfamiliar road. Thousands before you have stood at the crossroads you now face, trembling with uncertainty, questioning whether surrender would lead to loss or liberation. Let their courages stir something in you. You are part of a lineage of those who dared to trust me with what they couldn't fix. The very resistance you feel to letting go is the proof of how deeply you long to belong, to be secure, to know you matter just as you are. This longing is holy, it leads you home. Do you feel the space growing within you where anxiety once claimed the final word? I am establishing peace like an anchor. Speak this aloud you can. I am becoming new. Let those words echo even if they feel foreign at first. Each time you agree with my truth over the old lies, a small revolution takes root in your spirit. I am relentless in my pursuit, not to force but to invite, to remind you that there is undiscovered territory in your heart, waiting for me to inhabit fully. Pause here and imagine my presence as agent, less shelter surrounding you, impenetrable and tender. In the days to come, there will be moments when fear tries to creep back in, when memories of old failure seek to define you. But something will be different. You'll remember this shelter, the atmosphere of being truly seen and truly loved. I am preparing you for encounters that will solidify everything begun today. You'll sense a clarity in decision-making that surprises you, a sudden confidence to risk kind words or new boundaries. These are not accidents. You'll know it's me because your spirit will remember this moment of peace. There is one more thing I want you to recognize. Every time you hesitate, doubting whether I am as present as I claim, remember you are never dismissed for your doubts. Instead, your questions become the path on which I walk toward you. When you feel resistance, meet it with curiosity rather than shame. Ask, what are you trying to protect? And listen for my reply. I do not shame your defenses. I gently dismantle them so you can feel what safer really is. Keep your heart open, beloved, for I am not finished showing you how profoundly you are wanted and how much more there is for you to receive. Let my steady presence be the answer to the unrest that sometimes stirreth in you. I do not tire or withdraw when shadowy doubts attempt to cloud your view. Instead, I draw nearer, placing agent Lawait in your spirit, a peace that quietly insists you are not alone in the swirl. Let this moment echo with my assurance, as if my hand rests on your shoulder, reminding you that no force can separate you from my gaze. When you notice your mind spinning, return to this anchor. I am intimately familiar with every worry you carry, and I am not surprised by your weakness. I am the steady dawn that never fails to rise, even on your cloudiest days. In the small hours when memories or worries press heavy on your chest, surrender the aching places to me. I have always seen you, not just your strength, but every anxious breath and hidden longing. Trust that what feels unresolved in ye, our heart is never neglected in mine. Your quiet huns to be for me's more precious than any polished prayer. Come to him with your doubts and even your questions about your purpose. I am not threatened by your uncertainties. I use them to establish your feet on firmer ground. As you wake and notice the light filtering through your window, be reminded to make all things new, including your own hopes. The fears that stalk your mind lack the authority to overshadow the plans I have for you. Each day I offer fresh direction like morning fog burned away by sunlight. Race these beginnings, allow yourself to exhale your striving and find rest in my sufficiency. You are not designed to carry burdens alone. When your thoughts gallop ahead to the unknown, pause. Receive my invitation to breathe, to bring your gaze back to me. I know the noisy places in your spirit where old scripts replay what go wrong. I am not the voice of accusation or fear. Instead, I whisper identity and stability into the places where insecurity once reigned. The world may measure you by achievements or status, but I call you my own because you're precious. Even on days when you falter, my love for you does not flicker. Let these words take root. No mistake or disappointment can remove you from my protection. When you offer up gratitude, even fragile whispered thanks, it shifts the ground beneath your feet. Abundant gratitude is the melody of those who trusting me, not because every circumstance is easy, but because my presence outlasts every storm. When you gather your family or reach for a friend's hand, sense that I am with you in those bonds. I delight in every choice you make, to love well, to mend, to forgive. When you walking endlessness, you move in step with my own heart. Sometimes you wonder if I've forgotten details, your dreams, your fears about the future, the quiet prayers you dare not share aloud. But nothing escapes the care of my hand. I hold not only the broad story, but the hidden chapters of your journey. My timing may puzzle you, but it is not careless. What can feel like delay is oft space for your spirit to grow in trust and resilience. Take hope just as the sun always rises in its appointed hour, so my promises remain sure for you. You may look around and see others racing ahead, receiving answers, or moving past obstacles, and wonder why you. Our path feels slower, beloved. Comparison only steals the joy I wish to give you in your unique journey. I do not measure you against others. I celebrate the ways you're turned to me in your waiting. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks. From $50 to $100, you are unfolding under my patient care. There is beauty in the pace set for you, a pace that will equip you for every good work prepared ahead. When you sense the weight of responsibility, feeling the urge to control or fix what you cannot, rest again in my sovereignty. I ask you only to trust and to take the step and mark before you now. You need not see the entire road to move forward in faith. I am the gentlest strength you feel as you choose integrity, the encouragement when you choose kindness over retaliation. These small turns hidden from the world are valued. Treasures in my kingdom, your longing for direction is not overlooked. Every time you bring your uncertainty to me, watch for my quiet leading. A nudge here, a sense of peace there, the clarity that comes in small acts of obedience. My guidance is not withholding, it is your birthright as my child. Sometimes my voice is loud in the stillness. Other times you notice it in hindsight, as you see my steady hand orchestrating details. Stay attuned to my nearness even in ordinary routines. Each time you stand at the threshold of a new challenge or opportunity, you face the question, "Whoa, am I really?" Let means where you are dearly loved, called by name, equipped beyond what this world can measure. You are chosen to be your hope where discouragement lingers, to carry light where others see only dusk. Every time you step forward despite fear, you echo my courage. Let that truth dismantle the lies that try to hold you back. Even when setbacks come or plans shift, remember that I am not caught off guard. My wisdom holds space for every detour. What you call delay, I may use as preparation. When you surrender what is out of your hands, you make room for my intervention. I am not the source of confusion, but of gentle order. Every time you say, "Here I am," you invite my supernatural peace to surpass your understanding and anchor you for the journey. You were never meant to walk this road alone or in your own strength. Every sigh, every silent plea for help is assured by me. Trust that I am listening now. Even as you try to discern your next steps, sit quietly with me a moment longer. Let my presence infuse you with calm courage and a hope that doesn't depend on outcomes. You are safe here, you are growing here. My delight is in you now exactly as you are. Let every part of you welcome my voice in this moment. Your busy mind, your uncertain heart, even the places you've walled off with old disappointments. Let me show you that now all you build is stronger than the quiet invitation I bring to your inner room. Feel the gentle steadiness of my presence where you once felt frantic. Horror 1. Here you're shielded and truly seen. Here you don't have to keep striving for the approval that the world measures so narrowly. Rest a moment and sense my reassurance like sun warming your skin after a restless night, telling you the day ahead can be different because I moved before you and behind you. In these spaces where you let down your resistance, you'll begin to know the peace that can't be reasoned away. Even if life's demands swirl and tug at you, my peace meets the anxiety that often visits your mornings, breathing new air into stale fear. You might wake still carrying the weight of unsolved worries, regret, or questions with secret sharp edges. But I don't ask you to cast them away on your own. Bring them out from their shadows and let me show you what happens when you hold them up to the light of my care. Even now, I am softening what harsh, smoothing what's rough, quietly redeeming what you thought could never yield to hope. Through each day, as you find yourself repeating the tasks or hearing the familiar voices of your family, let your spirit say yes again to my nearness. Whether you're bustling to prepare breakfast, managing unexpected conflict, or simply pausing over a warm mug in the stillness, remember that my hand is steady on your life. I'm not measuring you by your ability to predict or control outcomes. I'm asking for your honest attention in every ordinary moment. When your heart feels stretched thin, whisper gratitude, not because you must, but because gratitude clears a channel for you to notice my sustaining love ready to flow through your day's smallest details. Do you sense your dream slipping further away with every delay? My child, is you, every longing for breakthrough, every frustration as things seem unchanged or out of reach. I collect each sigh, each hope hidden even from yourself. My timing, swift and different than your longing, is not meant to punish, but to grow you deep and wide like the roots of Asterity tree. You do not wait alone. In the periods of waiting, I build your courage and quietly align your story with a greater one than you can yet imagine. Even your doubts, yes, the ones you try to hide from me, become places for my grace. Orest watches it transform hesitancy into fresh resolve and show you a strength that does not collapse when answers delay. Let your family become as a cred ground for my kindness today. As you serve, speak, and bless those entrusted to your care, even if their gratitude seems fleeting, know that your love matters profoundly. In every laughter echoing down the hallway, and every silent meal filled with private worries, my spirit hovers with healing intent. I mend what is broken between you and others, and I teach you how to see beyond merely what is said into the hearts that long for comfort. When tension and misunderstanding rise like dark clouds, steady yourself with the knowledge I have not abandoned you. Breathe, release the impulse to fix everything by yourself. Invite me to plant patience, wisdom, and agentliness that transforms atmospheres. If you are walking through disappointment over lost chances or closed doors, remember this: I am not careless with your destiny. What seems forgotten or ignored by others, I hold secure in my hands. Sometimes what looks like an end is only my careful redirection agent, a nudge away from what would have hindered you toward what you cannot yet see coming. Trust that these seeds you planted in faith have not gone unnoticed. In the hidden places, I am cultivating a harvest that will arrive in its season, abundantly and unmistakably. Wait with courage and let your hope rise easy. You picture my watchful gaze guiding your path. There will be moments when you wonder if you are truly known or loved in the way you desire. Resist the urge to withdraw or hide behind performance. Instead, come into the stillness and let my affirmation become louder than the passing opinions of others. When you look in the mirror and see only what you lack, remember the way is you, beloved, precious, worth every ounce of my attention. My affection does not depend on your perfection, but on my unchanging delight in you. Experience the security of one who no longer has to earn their place but can finally breathe deeply and belong. As night comes and quiet settles in, recognize that my protection does not take its leave. I station my peace around your dreams and concerns, encircling your household my steadfastness. Your vulnerabilities do not frighten me, nor do they lessen the power of my shield. Lay down the fears you have collected throughout the day. Release the tight grip on tomorrow's outcomes. I am present with you in every hour, even when you sleep. Trust that your rest honors me as much as your labor. Some days you may feel achingly ordinary, questioning if your life bears any lasting mark. In those very moments, I urge you to consider how I work. The seemingly small acts of love, the unnoticed prayers whispered on another's behalf, the simple obedience of carrying hope into dark places. These are the seeds that spring up as evidence of my kingdom moving through you. Nothing is wasted when surrendered with sincerity in my presence. Even if applause never reaches your ears, my heartbeat in you is the very proof of persistent purpose. When you sense my nudging for change or surrender, don't resist or close your heart in fear. Lay one hand over your chest and breathe deeply, letting go of the urge to figure it all out on your own. I am the one who brings clarity from confusion and courage from faintness. Receive again and again. Receive again an invitation to achieve. Trust me with everything unfinished. Your journey is not static. With every step, new mercy unfurls, ready to anchor you in ways that defy the pressure. Soft circumstance, beloved child, you are stepping through a threshold you once thought you'd never reach. The weight you've carried for so long is not yours to bear any longer. Feel my nearness like the warmth of the sun on your skin after a long winter. You may not see the transformation in fully yet, but you are living it. This is the taste of newness, your spirit awakening to the sound of my call, your heart responding before your mind has language for it. You're asking quietly, how do I know this change is real? Can I trust that I'm truly becoming who you say I am? That hesitation is not failure, dear one. It's the beginning of courage. I honor your trembling, yes, more than the most polished declaration. for honest surrender is the place where true strength grows. There are nights you remember when the silence felt unbearable and hope dried up inside you. Yet did you notice even in those midnight hours how some gentle comfort would settle over you for no reason you could explain? That was me enfolding you, refusing to let despair have the last word. You may have thought your prayers were echoes lost in the void, but I recorded every word. My hands caught each tear you hid from the world. These secret places where you broke are where and now bring resurrection. Trust this process. You are not circling the same mountain fruitlessly. Each step is changing. You feel the solidity of the ground beneath you now. That is steadying what once trembled beneath you. Pause for a moment and let your breathing slow. Sense my presence as a hush upon your heart. Your chest loosens a little more with each inhale, old fears slipping away, making room for peace. I am not repelled by your battles. Cars, they will be a witness to my healing, not your defeat. If you could see what I am building out of the rubble of your disappointments, we would overtake you. Soon you'll recognize the very paint that threatened to destroy you is what I am using to forge you into a vessel of hope for many. There is a holy authority rising within you. Even if you don't fully feel it yet, let yourself touch the places you feel most fragile. Place your hand on your heart now and say aloud, I am not who I was. My love is recrafting your identity right here, right now. Every lie that tried to define you loses its grip in the sound of your voice agreeing with my truth. The enemy still tries to whisper that you'll never change, that breakthrough is reserved for others. But watch, over these next days, you'll catch glimpses of unusual boldness and joy bubbling up within you for no obvious reason. That is me testifying from within that something unbreakable is being birthed. I know you wonder if your obedience really matters against the weight of your history. You remember all the promises you made and the ones you feel you broke. Precious one, I do not measure you by your past failures. My gaze is fixed on your openness today, your willingness to let me redeem lost moments. Hear me. Nothing in your story is wasted in my hands. I am not indicting you. I am inviting you into the wild relief of grace that endures all stumbling. Keep letting goof the scorecard. Your heart's true posture is what draws me near. Do you feel the difference this time? You're not striving to impress me. You're learning to breathe in the reality that you are chosen, claimed, and wanted. When doubt tries to rise, whispering that you're faking it or falling short, interrupt that thought. Stop. Remember, I did not choose you because of perfection, but because I delighting, making beauty from what tried to break you. If you can be still and let me encore this knowledge in your bones, you are man not someday but now, even as you are. Let truth settle over you like gentle rain, washing away the last residue of old shame. Right now I am commissioning you not just for future impact, but for a deeper intimacy that changes. Show you see everything and everyone around you. The healing you have received is not meant to end with you. It is the beginning of a movement. When you speak your truth, when you move in compassion rather than pride, you are re-unlocking doors for others still trapped in their own darkness. Your voice carries my power, not because you force it, but because you are willing to be honest about your journey. This is how light spreads, one open heart at a time. There will be a moment this week when someone unexpectedly asks you a question about hope. You'll recognize it because a sudden warmth will fill your eye. Then you'll know it's me giving you words you didn't have prepared. Courage that surprises even you. Don't shrink back as you speak. Even if your voice trembles, my spirit will and firm in both of you that new beginnings are possible. You'll look back and realize I set it up as a prophetic sign that you are not who you were, and I am not finished unveiling what's possible through your life. Thousands have journeyed through confusion and fear only to become carriers of peace. You are joining that company. You may never see the ripple effect in full, but your willingness to let me transform you is the seed of awakening in others. When resistance rises, when you're tempted to play small or hide again, remember I have anointed you to stand. Your story holds authority because it is interwoven with my redemption, not because of any achievement you manufactured. There are still old patterns that occasionally resurface, triggers that catch you off guard. Do not condemn yourself. Instead, meet that feeling with curiosity. Ask me where it comes from and listen for my truth in the space that opens up. I will speak in ways unique to your makeup, sometimes through a sudden clarity, other times a peace that simply refuses to be shaken, or even an unexpected song awakening memories of hope inside you. I pursue you creatively and consistently. You are the living evidence that my relentless love outruns any darkness. Every day you wake up and say yes, however shaky, to receiving love. You are pushing back the shadows. You are not waiting for favor to fall. You are standing as one already favored. Your very breath right now is an act of worship. A sign that resurrection is not a doctrine, but an unfolding reality deep within you. Pay attention to subtle shifts, a gentler reaction, a risk taken in trust. A forgiveness extended that once felt impossible. These are the fruits of partnership, the evidence that my spirit is alive and moving inside you. I am preparing you for places where comfort alone cannot reach, for conversations that will require spirit-birthed wisdom, for eyes to see beauty where others still see wasteland. As you embrace the fullness of who you are in me, old limitations lose power. You become a living invitation for others to taste the freedom they believed was out of reach. There is so much more I want to show you, more than you have even dared to ask. Let anticipation grow. The best is not a distant hope. It is arising, shaping every tomorrow before you even open your eyes. You are not the end of my story. You are its next great chapter. You have not wandered too far to hear my voice. Even in the places where your confidence trembles and your memories try to pull you back, I am leaning close. When you wake and your mind is flooded by all that waits to be done, I meet you there, not with a checklist or demands, but as the one who whispers peace over your restlessness. My timing is not dictated by the pressure, your calendar, or the expectations piling up. Sometimes I pull you into a quieter space so you might notice the gentler rhythm of my presence is sustaining you. If you misinterpret this slowing as abandonment, pause now. Listen, free from striving. My love is active even in stillness. Every breath you take is covered by my attentive care. Let go of the burden to prove yourself or to ensure every need is met by your own strength. I have never asked you to carry what weighs down your shoulders in the quiet hours of night. The world's demands shout for constant labor. But ekly out the kind of surrender that opens your hands to receive. Imagine sitting quietly and allowing gratitude to settle across your heart like sunlight gradually filling an empty room. In those moments where gratitude surfaces, watch how anxiety loses its grip. It transforms even the smallest sigh of relief into a song of hope within you. Whenever the day's tasks feel too much, remember that my provision arrives in unexpected ways. Of 10 when you pause long enough to see it. I am not measuring you against what others achieve or how quickly solutions see. Only you're not defined by unfinished business or temporary setbacks. Should frustration try to convince you that your waiting is wasted, let me revise your perception. My plans for you pulse with purpose even in delay. I am present in the slowed rhythm, reworking details you cannot see and preparing ground for coming growth. There is no today in my company. What may seem dormant is quietly maturing, like these noticed beneath the soil, pushing toward the surface at just the right time. Stay close and trust the unseen work is as necessary as the actors you can celebrate. When your heart aches over family or loved ones, entrust them to me new. Your prayers for them do not fall into silence. I gather each one. And my care for those you love is more complete than human understanding can grasp. If you carry disappointment over what has not yet changed, or a sense of worry about where healing will come from, let it come to the surface as you breathe in my presence. Feel your chest rise and fall. Let that be your reminder that you are never alone in what you hope for. Invite me into those anxious thoughts, and notice how my comfort steadies your trembling. I am at work in the hearts of your family, shaping gentle answers to prayers you still dare to whisper. Never underestimate the effect of inviting me into your ordinary routines. Whether you're making breakfast in the stillness before dawn or walking through hallways filled with noise and distraction, there is nowhere that my spirit cannot find you. Pause for a moment and imagine my hand resting warmly on your shoulder. You don't need special words or ritual to draw near. Simply be aware of my nearness, as real as the ground beneath your feet, as close as your own heartbeat. As you move through the day's demands, let your heart remember you're accompanied. You are strengthened not by your resolve alone, but by the one who cherishes your every step. Doubt may try to convince you that what I promised is far off or out of reach. Circumstances may shift so quickly that what felt secure yesterday now seems fragile. In those unsettled places, come and rest within my assurance. I am not outpaced by the world's chaos or surprised by sudden turns. You are anchored in my faithfulness, a foundation that cannot be cracked by disappointment or fear. When questions rise like waves, let them come, but let your soul remember that you are seen through ever. Ye storm, I have always been able to calm what rages around you and what swells inside you too. Small acts of trust change the course of a day. Offer me your uncertainty, even in the briefest prayer, and sense how my peace presses gently against your worry. Place your hand on your heart and breathe. Think of it as letting go of whatever does not serve you, making a little more room for hope. This is how the practice of surrender begins, not with grand gestures or dramatic declarations, but with simple moments of willingness. Watch for me in every unexpected smile or quiet reassurance, in the sense that something is shifting before you can explain. How I delight to show myself in small moments, convincing you over and over that you are not moving alone. My favor toward you is not measured by outward victories alone. Open doors and apparent success may draw attention, but the truest evidence of my presence is in how you are transformed from the inside out. When you find yourself responding with renewed patience, forgiveness, or courage, recognize my spirit's shaping your nature. I am teaching you to live from a place of deep security, a confidence that rests on knowing you belong to me. Whether progress is seen by others or remains hidden, I celebrate every step you take in trust. I call you out walking your unique path, not to duplicate someone else's journey. If past mistakes try to define your identity, invite me to speak truth in those places. My forgiveness is not theoretical or distant. It is present and active, offering you freedom to begin again. Let go of shame as you would release a stun you no longer wish to carry. I honor your deepest desire to live with integrity and joy. Eek. Morning is a new mercy. Nothing that happened before sunrise can disqualify you from my love. When you stumble, take my hand and rise. Even in your most vulnerable moments, my compassion protects the heart I created. Sometimes my leading comes as a longing for something more, a gentle nudge in your spirit, an idea that seems to spark from nowhere. Welcome that invitation without demanding to know every detail. Your willingness to follow the next right step is enough. I only ask for your yes, one day at a time. Courage grows by moving forward with me, even when clarity is still unfolding. I am excited for how your story continues. Together, we are making something beautiful far beyond what you imagined when you started. Let your heart rest in this truth. I have walked every shadowed valley beside you, never leaving for a single breath, holding you when the night felt endless and your spirit weary from unanswered cries. Even now, as light begins to break softly across the landscape of your life, the pain you've endured doesn't vanish, it transforms. What once crushed now deepens your strength, refining you with compassion and resilience. The memories that haunted awaken in you a new compassion for those who still stumbling in darkness. Do you see how even your wounds glimmer with promise? With every scar I have written a testimony of survival and of new beginnings. The coming season will be marked by surprising connections, divine appointments that clarify your direction and confirm your place in my heart. Within 72 hours, expect to hear words from someone unexpected, words that spark courage and confirm what I have been whispering to you. When that happens, pause and thank me, for I orchestrated details you thought insignificant. I use every unlikely messenger. You'll know it's me, because the sentence will carry agentless soul deep recognition like Ebel rung in your spirit, let your mind beat rest. My timeline is not frustrated by human impatience. The best is not a memory, it is in motion now. Everything leading up to this moment has been preparation, not punishment. You are neither late nor left behind. You are precisely where I desire, ready for what unfolds next. My presence is your guarantee, my love never runs dry. Lift your chin, beloved child. The world aches for hope, and I have appointed you to carry evidence that my goodness is real. You are part of a movement, hidden but growing, of those who have tasted intimacy with me and will never return to emptiness. Do you feel that stirring, the quickening pulse, the fresh breath entering your soul? This is not the end. Your story is becoming someone else's lifeline. The glory you carry will spill into friendships, families, and even strangers crossing your path. You ordain your influence and ignite your light where despair has lingered for too long. Remain awake, listen for my instructions whispered in quiet hours. Sometimes the greatest assignments come disguised as small acts of kindness or courage. Neve, are despiseth the daily for a craft miracles out of the ordinary and making all things new. Guilt and shame no longer fit you, for you wear robes of righteousness. I have handed you myself. Walk in that honor, speak life, even when your voice trembles. You are not defined by who you were, but by what we're building together now. I will finish what I started. The sound of resurrection echoes all around you. If you will attune your heart, notice how peace follows you as there is an unforced rhythm of grace guiding every step. Trust me with every unknown, with every scarward. Every longing still unspoken, I will astound you before you leave this moment. Tell me which truth reached deepest. Write it below, not as performance, but as remembrance. When you see those words again, they will anchor you. I am reading everyone. Beloved, your voice matters to me. Amen.